What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're jumping into. We're going back to Groningen. I think it's kind of brave to call it the world's cycling city, considering it is in the world's most cyclingest country. I don't know. I think a lot of people might argue that their town, their place that they live, is the more cycling city. But hey, all arguments aside, let's jump in. Let's check it out together. I always find it fascinating how your world is built compared to how my world is built. You guys got protected cycle. It's things that are set up just for bikes. Over here, it's like they said, oh, the bikes need something, so let's just take it away from the cars. And that's what they did. They literally we used to have right turn lanes, but now there are no more right turn lanes in our city. They took away a whole lane from the cars and gave it to the bikes and called it a bicycle lane that nobody uses. And you're still right there with the cars. There's no safety net. There's no protect. Oh, they got up some little plastic poles. That's a safety feature, I suppose, in some way, shape, or form. But I think the whole world could learn a lot from the Netherlands. I think the whole world should look at some of the infrastructure that you guys have built for bikes. And maybe more people would be out cycling if it wasn't such a damn... Hey, am I going to get run over today? Get over and show Street Films all the love in the world. Shout out to Anna Lee for the request. Let's go on the journey.
I really don't have the car.
It's so crazy just to see like an intersection. I don't know why we're flickering like crazy.
I really don't have the car because I don't like cars. I hate cars. I love my bicycle.
How many people out there don't have a car like at all? It's like bicycle is my only form of transportation. I think that's very cool.
Easy, you go all around.
You only see that in like big cities here.
In my fietstassen.
How much does that weigh, do you think?
A fietstassen. I'm assuming it means a bicycle stash.
Well, I think 20 kilos.
Well, distances are short, so that makes it very easy. And it's in this, especially here in the town, it's easier by bike than by car, so a lot easier actually.
Kids just chilling in the basket. No problem whatsoever, just comfortable as can be. We've seen little tiny children just like tossed into a bicycle basket. Let's go. We know we're going to be safe. It's unusual to see that many people on bikes. Even still, and we know a lot about the Netherlands.
Okay, well, now we are in Groningen. I live here from 1979, so quite a long time. It's a town with 190,000 inhabitants, and 50,000 of all the people here are students. And so we have got a lot of young people in this town.
This is, or was, a fortress town for 1,000 years. This was the town that guarded the routes into Germany. It's the fortress of the north. Consequences of that, and the city was contained within the military fortifications until very late in the 19th century. So there is no sprawl. It didn't expand outwards. Which meant, of course, that now we say, hey, we got a wonderful compact city and we can reach everything by foot or bicycle or whatever.
Well, in 1972, Groningen get a left-wing local government. And that's the start of I think the bicycle culture.
A small group of young, enthusiastic, left-wing ideological people and said, right, we're going to change everything radically. And one of the things they picked on was transport.
And in September 1977, they introduced the traffic circulation plan, which means that the city center was diverted in 4 different quarters. And that means that cars couldn't go from one quarter to the other quarter. They have to go around the city center. But cyclists, buses, pedestrians...
They're going to go all the way around every time?
Put a ring road around the inner city. You prevent traffic crossing the inner city. You divide it into sectors. You pedestrianize the...
Where'd that pole come from? It just comes out of the ground. You guys got hydraulic freaking roadblocks to make sure that the cars stay out. I can't even explain it to you. Like, you might not be, if you're from up there, you won't be able to fathom it. Imagine going for a car ride in the city and not seeing single bicycles. Or if you do see them, all you see is people walking their bicycle. Like, that's the way that it is here. You might very rarely see 1 or 2 bicycles while you're out riding. And even then, half the time they're not actually in the bicycle lane. I don't ride my bike in the bicycle lane. I ride on the sidewalk because I'm not riding right there with the cars to get run over.
Traffic crossing the inner city, you divide it into sectors, you pedestrianize the center, you move all your car parking out to the edge, you have park and ride schemes, etc., etc., etc.
But if you're making a journey inside the city, then you can start and finish in a different part of the city and take a direct line between the two. But if you go by car, you have to take a detour. This is not really an anti-car measure. What this is making...
But it could be used as an anti-car measure in other places.
...the neighborhoods where people live more pleasant and making cycling into a viable option.
And everyone said, it can't work. This is impossible. The shopkeepers said, we'll leave the city immediately. No, everyone must park in front of our door, otherwise we will lose all our business. And then, wonder of wonders, the world didn't collapse. The shops didn't leave the city. The police found, yes, people could learn how to handle this plan. People adapted to it. And that was, as I say, 1977.
In the last couple of years, the area of calming traffic has increased. So nowadays it's just normal that you go on the bike to the city center.
Now check it out. I'm fully aware that this video is 10 years old. Annalie wanted to see it, so we're here with it. Things might have changed a little bit. In 10 years, a lot can change. So, but I don't know. I think the bicycle culture is crazy underrated here. Sure, you get people that go out and they do these long bicycle rides and things like that. People that are doing it for a hobby mostly, not really like as a transportation method. Most of the people that live in my city don't live in my city and work in my city. They live here to commute out. And then by the time you get back home from your commute to work, nobody wants to do anything, or it's already nighttime. So you don't see crazy amounts of people on the road like this. Even people that are just walking around and wandering around aimlessly. It's just lines and lines and lines of cars.
In Groningen, the average person cycles 1.4 times a day. Okay, so that's how it goes. 10 times a week, people ride a bike somewhere.
It's a very comfortable way of transportation. Above everything, it's very economical. So you don't have to pay for buses or trains.
I don't have an argument for you.
With the bike, I go through downtown, through the center of Groningen, and then I'm at my work. When I use my car, I have to go through the Ringweg, they call it here. So it takes about, I think, half an hour, and with my bike, it's 10 minutes.
You need your bike here definitely, because you needed to go to university, you needed to go to party. You can transport everything on the bike, so you see people here riding like, you can even transport the fridge if you want to. Then you put the fridge on the back of the bike and you just push the bike, but it will bring it somewhere somehow.
It's not really an anti-car measure, but more like a reward to the people that decide to use bicycles. Hey, you want to get there faster? Just bike.
We are at the central station of Groningen. We call it Hoofdstation.
We've seen some of these
main
bicycle
station.
garages before.
And we've got 3 different places where you can park your bike. Now we're just in front of the what we call Stadsbalkon, town balcony you can call it, with a free parking place for around about 5,000 bicycles. It's free, you don't have to pay. But people are looking after it, so it's a kind of a guarded bicycle park. All the places have got a sensor The stadsbalcony is diverted in different areas, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. When you see the sign over there, it shows you how much places are still
We have that
free.
for cars.
But the one over
we
here
definitely
on the
don't have that for
right-hand
bike.
side, that's the formal bicycle parking, which is a guard.
What is that? Is a formal bicycle
On the
parking.
right-hand side, that's the formal bicycle parking, which is a guarded one. You have to pay for it, just for a day ticket, a month ticket, and it's open till the last train arrives in Groningen around about 2 o'clock at night. And then we farther back, we've got what we call a bicycle flat, which is free, but is nobody who looks after it. And on the south side of the station, there are also parking places. So the total amount of bike parking facilities is around about 10,000. And in the weekend, it's all full.
I don't even know if you would find 10,000 bikes in my city.
That's an OV-fiets. That's the shared bicycle system in the Netherlands. And you can pick up those bicycles at, I think it's 340 stations now around the country. And so it's probably the biggest bike share system in the world now. It's intended for people who've used public transport. So the idea is that if you have cycled to the railway station in your own town, and then you've taken the train, and then you can use one of these bikes at the other end as the other part of your commute.
Why ride a bicycle? Because it's much easier than taking the bus, and the car is way too expensive to have in the city.
It's also
And the
healthier.
infrastructure's too late.
Jesus.
There's bicycle lanes everywhere. So
America wouldn't be
yeah, that's
so
basically
big.
the reason I
The
ride my
people
bike
wouldn't be
everywhere.
so
But
big
let's
if
go.
we all
So,
bicycled
goodbye. Good luck
everywhere.
filming.
You're not going to get a cycling revolution by having a few 30-kilometre-an-hour streets. You're not going to get it by building just a few cycle paths. And you're not going to get it by traffic calming just a few streets either. You have to do everything, and you have to do it everywhere. You never have to ride more than a few hundred metres from your home in the Netherlands in order to find yourself on a facility of such quality that you will be happy to cycle on it, and you'll be happy for your children to cycle on it.
Try to make new areas around the town within a boundary of say 5 till 7 kilometers, and not that we've spread all the new areas far away from the town center. Out of a point of a compact city and the mobility aspects, it's much better taking the bike or walk into the town instead of using the car. And this bridge is one of the projects which give you the opportunity to use the bike or go on your feet to the shops which are on the other side. So it's a very easy and quickest way to go from the new area over here and to go to the area down there. Not using your car, but go on the bike.
Employers must submit to the local authority a plan, a scheme, a set of ideas. What are they doing in order to encourage their employees not to use motor cars? And this can come in all sorts of forms. It could be they do no more than put in some covered bike parking and some showers or lockers. But some places have offered free public transport. Others have offered a bonus to people that say they're not
I'll take the
using
bonus.
their motor cars. So the idea is to discourage parking.
This IKEA is one of the largest in the world. It's the largest this side of Berlin. So there is also a lot of car parking. But the cycle parking here is still quite generous.
Here you can see
I don't know
there's
what
a
that
special
was.
cycle path just right into the entrance. We go straight on and we cycle just right into the shop. Although it's summer, as you can see how much people are using the bike going to the IKEA. So I presume that maybe in the next couple
My thing is, though, what are you going to buy at IKEA that you can carry home on your bike? It is a furniture store. You just go in there to order it and have them deliver it later?
years they will put some more. This is the parking place for the employments of IKEA. And you can see that most of them are coming on the bike and use the bike place to park their bike.
Yeah, I think it's great. Because one, you save room for the customer because we don't park there. And if you have a private stelling place, it encourages people to go on their bike.
It's quite common to see students moving house with these because there were 50,000 students in Groningen and you can hire these for just $2.50 an hour.
Okay, never mind. I stand corrected about picking things up from IKEA. It's like a truck.
Because there were 50,000 students in Groningen, and you can hire these for just $2.50 an hour, and so people will hire one of these to move house. So you'll see students riding through the town with all of their worldly goods on the backfeeds.
There you have it.
With the bicycle. When you are 3 years old in Holland, you learn how to bike, and it's easy. You are quick everywhere.
I used to go on bicycle. It's cheap. It's good for the health, for your movement, and handy. Yeah. Greetings. Bye.
In the car, you're always alone, and on the bike, it's funny. You interact with other people. On the street, you talk, you laugh. You can even study for an exam on the way to the campus if it's necessary.
Or you can go all around with the bicycle. You go there, you go there. With car, you can't do that. You can't park here, you can't park here. Or you get fined for police, yeah?
Oh, it's an oar. So one thing you'll
It is
find
an
that's
oar.
very apparent when you're here is that it is almost completely silent. This is the quietest city that I've ever ridden a bike in or been in. For example, this street, you could stand in the roadway for minutes at a time without seeing a car.
The reason why it's pleasant to cycle here is because the infrastructure removes conflicts. And so you don't have people cycling in close proximity to fast cars or large trucks, not terribly often anyway.
I don't even know what it would feel like to be able to bicycle without worry that, hey, I'm going to get ran the hell over. Like, it would be so weird, like riding at a tennis court or something where you know that you're absolutely safe. It's very, very, very different to my world.
You have to have deliveries to a centre like this, but we don't have through traffic in a place like this. And so this is relatively peaceful. And by having the street as a street mainly for bicycles, as this is, we have enormous numbers of people using the street and able to get to the shops. We can make the whole place look more attractive.
So the first thing you see when you come out of the train station is this massive bike parking structure. The taxi stand is located away from the front of the station. Over there, that very small parking lot, that's where you can get a taxi. You don't have taxis jostling for customers. If you want a taxi, you have to go and seek it out.
Okay, well, we are here in the northwestern part of Groningen, the Korrewegwijk. It's built in the 1930s, and behind me you will see the canal, which is the Van Starkenborg Canal. It's the canal which leads from Amsterdam to Germany. So it's an important canal. A lot of ships are here the whole day and the whole night. It's open 24 hours, 6 days a week. Behind here is a suburb area with a lot of young people, with young children. They all have to go to work, go to school. They have to pass the bridge. 13,000 cyclists each day will pass this bridge. It's an old bridge, it's a swing bridge. It will open sometimes 10 minutes, so it will take a long, long time when you can pass. That means that we have made these separate bridges which you can use when the bridge is open. So you never can say when you have to go to school, well, I'm late because the bridge was open. It gives you options. Some people will wait, some people take the bridges just behind the swing bridge. In the morning hour, you might see that a lot of people will use the separate bridge to go to their work. But when you go home and you think, well, I've been working for a long day, I will wait.
There are so
The
many
hell
things that
was
have been
that?
done to improve livability here in Groningen. As you have seen, everything is attainable by bike. Through smart transportation planning, all obstacles have been removed, and the result is a beautiful city that's quiet, healthy, and fun, and pleasant. Like say if you want to go to the movie theater, there are hundreds of bike parking spaces out front and hundreds more protected in the garage out back.
I tried to do the bicycle riding thing. I tried to go places on my bike here, and that's a big part of the problem is that you get to the supermarket and there's no bicycle parking anywhere. A lot of people just take their bicycle into the supermarket and leave it at the front door for fear that someone's just going to walk off with it. That's the kind of world that I live in.
But that's just something that's not remarkable in the Netherlands. Look at the quality of the pathways throughout the city. The brick pavers are flawless in spots. It's hard to find a defect anywhere or a spot where it's uneven. Maintenance is a priority because they want people to have a smooth ride. That's because the city does not encourage traveling by car, and thus the money they save they can continue to build beautiful places that you can walk on and bike on and take transit on, and yes, even drive your car when you need to.
And a bicycle isn't considered to be a strange toy. It's not a sporting object.
It's a friggin'
It's a simple method of transportation. You don't think about cycling any more than you think about your feet when you're walking.
Well, we came here because we looked for the best place in the world to cycle, and therefore we ended up looking at Groningen, because when you've looked at everywhere that there is simply nowhere quite like this.
So because using your bike, you can go in the town, have a drink like the students behind me, or go to the town, go to the market, go to your work, go to see your friends. So it's a mode of transport which keeps you alive.
There you have it. I know a lot of y'all's infrastructure up there is built for bicycles. I've learned a tremendous amount about it. It's just, I don't know. It's very, very, very cool to me. It's like some alien world to see so many people on bikes. It's more bikes than I've ever seen before in any one place ever on these videos. And I think that would be definitely a culture shock to arrive up there and just be like, holy hell, there's a lot of bikes. It's kind of sad here. We've tried and failed miserably at setting up our own bicycle structure here because all we did was take away from the cars. So now you got more traffic and you have bikes riding right next to the cars. It doesn't make sense to me. It never will make sense to me, not as long as I see things like this where it flows so damn smoothly and everybody has just kind of adopted it and ran with it. And I think it's great and it's healthy and it's great for the environment. Keep on cycling away. Definitely get over, show street films all the love in the world. Shout out again to Annalie for the request. Smash the like button if you liked it. The dislike button, but it won't believe you. Till the next one, I'm Combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. I love you to the moon and back. Peace.